All right, Nick. Do you take ride photos?
Yes.
You do. All right. Well, that just happens to be our topic for today on the theme park, guys. We're going to talk about ride photos. Do you get them? Where are the good ones? Where are the iffy ones? And what's our ride photo wish list? That if we could have any ride photo in the world, what would it be? We're going to talk about that today on the theme park, guys. Are you ready, Nick?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
The theme park guys.
Howdy, partner. We're here.
We're here.
Somehow we made it here. And we press on
Yep, we're doing it.
into
We're
our
making it.
never-ending never-ending lore of theme parks, now tackling photos. I never thought there'd be so many things to talk about theme parks, honestly.
This would have never been a topic that would have crossed my mind if I'm being completely honest.
I feel like this was like a aha moment for me. I was like, we got to talk about this. It's the things nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. It's different for sure. It's very
Yeah.
specific. Yeah.
Yeah, might be a little too niche. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see how it goes. This
Might not
video
be a long episode.
might be 20 minutes long. But we usually only talk for 20 minutes at the end. What was our last one? I've even forgot. Oh, theme parking with a baby.
That wasn't technically the last one.
Well, that's the
That
one I
was
remember.
2 weeks ago. We did Mount Rushmore last week.
Oh, that's right. But that was pretty content heavy. Theme parking with a baby was about a solid 15 minutes. But
Yeah, that's par for the course when you have a baby. That's just like symbolic to
yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, we had a plan for an episode, and then we didn't do that plan, and that's just how theme parking with a baby goes sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very tired.
Having
Yeah.
a baby will do that to you.
Yeah, newborn life, and then just life in general it's been kind of a crazy week. We've had a lot going on, a lot of curveballs, but we're making it. We're pressing on. It's not been the best week for my mental health. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? I want to say something about my mental health because I have things to say. The thing is that this is a theme park podcast, sure, but this podcast is whatever the heck we want it to be. It's our podcast, and so I've gotten some commentary my direction about my mental health and how I should basically shut up about it, and I never will because me talking about my mental health, really, I've been able to connect with a lot of people on that, and it makes a big difference for me to know that other people connect with me. And unfortunately share similar things that I walk through. And so knowing that, I carry the weight of that, and I carry like a responsibility with that as well. And it's a good one. It's a good responsibility. I will always be vulnerable. I will always be me. That's who I am. And that's never going to change. So yeah, this week has been a heavy one on the old mental health. When you're exhausted, it doesn't help with that. It's harder to get your bearings when you're physically exhausted, and there's just nothing that's going to change that right now. That's just the season and stage of life that we're in, having a newborn.
Yeah.
We are, and I don't want to come across as ungrateful in any way. We are so blessed and so thankful. It's truly such a blessing to be here and to be feeling that exhaustion, but it doesn't make it any less difficult at times, for sure, especially when there's so many other things going on in life. And I know that I'm not the only person who this happens to, and I know I'm not the only person who can feel that, for sure. I know you personally have a lot going on in life. So
Yeah. No, I'm like, it's funny because, I'm like 8 months ahead of you. So if we would have started this podcast 8 months ago, which, I mean, it's kind of 6 months ago now that I think about it.
What do you
It's
mean?
not- like if we would have started right when I had my newborn, like the first couple weeks, then, we would have seen the parallels. But, I'm just living 8 months ahead of you,
yeah,
Just
which
in life and, knowledge and experience
Right.
and all these
Right.
things. I have a lot to offer to you
correct.
in terms of
But-
wisdom,
But the thing is that 9 months down the road, it'll be a different scenario. It'll still be exhausting. It's just the newborn stage is, I mean, every stage, parenting in general is exhausting. It doesn't change, regardless of which stage of life they're in. But there is something about the newborn stage that is definitely like, it's just, it wears on you. They want to eat every 2 or 3 hours. And when you are sharing that responsibility, it definitely like, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. I went back to work this week, specifically today. And it was a busy day. It was hectic. It was pretty chaotic. There's a lot to like catch up on with work and just kind of like get my bearings back after being gone for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The theme park space is ever changing and ever evolving, and there's just always something fun and new around the corner. So just kind of like figuring out what's been done, what we've done so far, like what is currently happening, and then what is to come, and kind of creating game plans for all of that.
Yeah.
It's busy, but it's good. Exciting things.
What's it like having a couple weeks off? I mean, whew.
Yeah.
I have 5 days.
Yeah, that's lame. I mean, honestly, like,
I feel like that's pretty standard in terms.
I feel like 2
don't
weeks
know.
is pretty typical for paternal leave. 2 weeks is usually
I've talked to some people and they get like 8 weeks, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
we should get more. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously very important for mom to have that much time, because they're also going through physical changes and healing and all that kind of stuff as well. But I do think that it's unfortunate that the system's set up where dads don't get that much time, or barely any time at all.
Yeah.
Because I think there's critical moments that are happening, like bonding with your child during this stage, that you like have to miss out on. And then also just like being there to support your family through it as well. Like putting so much on your partner to have to like handle things by themselves it's difficult for sure. Especially in any scenario with a newborn, and then especially when you have other kids, it's that much more like responsibility put on them. So as independent as our boys are, and they also are on summer break, and like they want to have fun. They want to like enjoy their summer, and that doesn't necessarily look like staying inside of the house all day every day. So we're trying to be very intentional about like creating fun moments for them as well. But that's difficult when like we don't really want to go anywhere with Zoe.
You've got the Blackstone. You're Blackstone dad now in the backyard making pancakes.
Yeah, I've been trying to cook.
Do you have a pancake mold, or do you just freehand those things?
Freehanded those, which was actually, I'm pretty impressed with myself with the first pancake experience on the Blackstone. Like they were cooked to perfection.
Wow,
and
that's hard with pancakes.
In general,
that's a big deal.
Yeah,
pancakes are tricky.
Yeah, they are not easy, but cooking them on the Blackstone was not bad. It was pretty easy.
Can you explain how you did pizza on the Blackstone? I don't understand how that works.
You can do like take pizza dough and then heat up the dough first, and then
like
add the toppings.
No. Like heat up the dough in your oven and then put.
No, it's almost like a stone. It's almost like I mean, I know it's a griddle.
It's like super hot.
You just turn it on the lowest setting.
Huh.
Yeah, but the pizza that we made, they were pre-made crusts.
Okay, so you just kind of were
melting
the
basically
cheese
just heating them up. Yeah, which
Okay.
they turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was thin crust, so it was like kind of crispy, which was nice.
The wheel fell off my Blackstone.
no.
Yeah,
Well, that's sad.
it's kind of a bummer.
Can you like put it back on?
I did, and then it fell off again. So, well, it is what it is.
Yours was free though, right? So it's not like
Yeah, I won it on a raffle.
Yeah.
So I've had some great luck on raffles in the past year of my life. Honestly, I've won a
I've never
Solo
won
stove. I've won a Blackstone.
wow. You're a gambling man.
No, I mean it was just like the business card ones, which those are the ones you think you never win. But
Business card ones.
yeah, like you go to a golf tournament and you put your business card in, or they give you 2 free raffle tickets and you just pick 2 prizes to put them in.
I don't go to golf tournaments. Number 1 and 2.
All right,
But that's cool. I mean,
go to golf tournaments.
That's like a combination of like you getting the opportunity to have fun at work. So
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
people
golf.
appreciate your golf conversation.
Yeah,
by
golf
the way.
update of the week. Went to Second Swing here in Dallas. Got 2 new clubs. Got a QI35 5-wood and a R7 mini driver, and I'm ready to put them in the bag.
Look at that.
So if you understood what I just said, let's be friends.
What's in your bag? The thing is that is again this podcast is whatever the heck we want it to be. And if you want to talk about golf, then talk about golf. I think we need to do more of that.
In relation to theme parks, of course.
I think we need to do more about talking. No, it doesn't have to be particularly
What if
correlate.
we
People-
change the podcast name to Guys?
That's
We
the
just
thing,
nix
though.
theme Guys.
We love theme parks, absolutely.
little
That's what that is what is what that's the thing that brought us
Kind of why we're
together.
friends.
Yeah, for sure. But outside of that, we are human beings that have entire lives and personalities.
No, I just like theme parks.
right.
That's it.
You said that's it. I thought you were saying it's but yeah, but I mean that's like this podcast will be reflective of our personalities for sure. So talking about golf, I'm here for it. I'll listen. I'll support. I don't have much to contribute to that conversation, unfortunately, but
Yeah, a little bit of golf. Came home. The chickens escaped the coop, so they had to get put back today.
have you guys like lost a chicken at this point?
No, we still got 7.
Good.
Toothless is not looking so hot though.
Oh no, why?
Yeah, I don't. She's sick.
Is Toothless
something.
named after Toothless the
Yeah,
dragon?
Toothless is the only black chicken,
Oh, that's amazing.
like midnight black. Yeah.
Does she have like a broken wing that you guys had to like put a red wing on?
She
her for?
she gets her feathers plucked out by all the other
Oh.
chickens, so
Chickens are brutal.
they're kind of turning on her. So we got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Scary.
They're vile. They're vile creatures for sure.
Yep,
They're mini dinosaurs.
Yep.
Speaking
They're
of
almost
dinosaurs-
as bad as cats. They will eat you
Yeah.
if you're left alone with them. That's the thing about cats. Don't get me started on cats.
Me either. I'm terrified of cats and just yeah.
Traumatized.
We've
Traumatized.
talked-
by
I think
cats.
have we talked about this before?
We've talked about this. Yeah.
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 Hate cats.
Lost it. Oh,
Chickens.
mini dinosaurs.
Oh,
We've been watching
yeah,
a lot of we've been watching a lot of Jurassic Park at our house, no, Jurassic World, and I
In
have
preparation for
Rebirth.
yeah, Rebirth.
No, I'm not convinced that I'm going to let the boys go watch Rebirth in theaters. I'm going to see it with my dad and one of my friends. I'm particularly excited because we have tickets to go see it next week, and we're seeing it in 3D D-Box, which I don't know how that's going to go with this movie. So, like,
What is
3D
that?
3D is obviously 3D, but then D-Box is where, like, the seats move, like, with the movie. They're programmed to the movie to, like, move and interact with what's happening on the screen.
I don't like that.
I've seen movies like this before. It's a lot of fun, and I
Like
think
if you're
like
watching Shrek, but not
what?
Jurassic World.
Shrek.
Yeah, like a kids movie.
I think that Jurassic World will be like enhance the experience.
I don't know.
What are you
That-
talking about?
I don't like that
Why?
feeling. I don't know. I like the whole Dolby Cinema thing and all that, but once you start moving the seats around,
Do you
and
like
spraying things from the ceiling, I'm like,
do you like
nah.
Flight of Passage?
Well, yeah, but not to see like an average movie. It's a little overwhelming, right?
I mean, I think it'll be overwhelming. I think it's going to be intense, but I'm ready for the experience. So.
Flight of Passage, but it's 2.5 hours long. No, thank you.
Well, it's definitely better quality than Flight of Passage is, but yeah,
You don't say.
Said what I said.
It's almost like Flight of Passage needs a refurb already. Has it been open for 10 years?
Which you lost that, by the way. Most people
No.
said that Rise of the Resistance.
Most people. We're talking single digits here, all right? It's
Well, there was
even.
not many people that weighed in on the conversation.
There's not.
nobody, not one person said that it will be changed.
Yes, they did.
Who?
I don't know.
They did not say that it
Sarah
would change.
or whoever that was.
I don't think they said it would change.
You know who you are. No, they said it will be refurbed by 2035. And
No,
I'm going to go look.
what they
And I'm
said
going to
was-
shout out. See, this is what happens if you comment in my favor. I will shout y'all out.
Right.
So
No,
let's see.
no,
Definitely don't think
no
Rise will be
swords.
closed. Oh shoot, that
It's
person
not
said
that.
no.
They said the entire land would be changed. That they should change the entire land. Not that it would.
Rise of the Resistance will be refurbished in 2035. I'm with Hunter. Says Dallas English 3414. Thank you.
Dallas, like the city.
No. DALIS, not.
Oh,
the same.
oh.
Yeah, no.
Well,
And that was the one person that
congratulations.
sided with me. Yeah. So It's, there you go. If you side with me, you
got
shout
one
it out.
person on your side.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, I'm excited to see Jurassic World Rebirth. I've heard really good things about this movie. A lot of people have said positive things about it. They've said
Yeah.
that it's like scary, like a Jurassic Park movie should be, which also, or Jurassic World. The movies are intense for sure. Like we let the boys watch them, and there were some things that I felt the need to fast forward, but overall they're very intense movies. These are definitely like watch during the daytime type of movies, not like we're gonna watch this at night.
Yeah.
Because
Too close to going to sleep.
Yeah, that'll
Gotta reboot the system after
yeah.
that.
And I've held off on letting them watch because I've just been nervous about whether they could handle it or not for sure. But Luke's been into dinosaurs for a long time and has been asking and asking, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see how it goes. So we watched the first one, Jurassic World, and he was hooked. And so we're making our way through all of them. We watched the trilogy of Jurassic World movies, and now we're going back. We watched the OG Jurassic Park, and now we're on the Lost World Jurassic Park. So the original one is also very intense.
They are.
Yeah.
And Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 is there's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess in all of them, limbs get detached. So, yeah.
We also watched Jaws, so
Jeez. All right, there you go.
I guess all bets are off. Zoe's arrived, and we're like, watch whatever you want to watch.
Yeah.
No, I'd say that we're absolutely not doing that. But I was watching Jaws for the first time ever this past week, and they got home from seeing a movie with Mom. I was home with Zoe, and when they got home, it was on, and I was just kind of like, well, finish watching with me. There was nothing in the movie that I was like. Now, we did make them close their eyes during. You've seen Jaws, obviously, correct?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I don't recall.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure.
Quint, the character, he dies at the end. Spoiler alert for anybody who's never seen it in the last
Darn
50
it.
years. But his death is pretty gruesome, so they were definitely not allowed to watch that. But all of the other parts about like
he's closing his eyes, but he's doing the old like.
no, Luke is serious about it. He knows because Luke doesn't like to be scared. So when I say close your eyes, he's like serious about it for sure.
Yeah.
Ethan is the one that might like sneak
Indiana Jones, like in
Temple of
the
Doom.
Ark of the Covenant, just like close your eyes, don't look at it, and Luke's over there like, oh man.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe those will be next. Luke's seen
Yeah.
some of Indiana.
Y'all should go with Luke and go see 28 Years Later.
Nope. Definitely.
That's what I saw this week, and it was good. We need to make that a theme park attraction some way somehow. The animatronics would be a little challenging, and well, we need to clothe them because
This is like
they're
a.
not
They're
there
like. This is like a. There's more to this, right? 28. There's
days,
another-
weeks, years.
Gotcha.
Apparently, weeks later, just you're supposed to forget about it, and it's supposed to be just days later and years later.
Have you seen all of them, or this was your first?
No, this is my first. I need to go back and watch 28 Days Later. I'm not even going to bother with 28 Weeks Later. And then the next 28 Years Later movie comes out in 6 months. So
Oh,
there's
like
gonna be another one. They filmed
already?
them concurrently.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. It was very suspenseful, and it had a cool soundtrack, and I just enjoyed it. It was shot on an iPhone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not
would
much
never
about
thought.
that appeals to me right now in this stage of life.
It's the perfect time to watch it. Zoe can watch it. She won't remember.
No, the boys can't watch it. We're not
That's
watching
true.
things.
It would
about-
be very traumatizing for the
Yeah.
boys.
No. They may be ready for Jurassic movies, but not that.
No, it's a little not. I mean, it's not real, but it feels a little bit more
Yeah.
real.
I don't personally need that in my life right now. I don't have that kind of like tolerance
Really?
for stress.
You don't have the. You're not able to just like compartmentalize.
I
like,
can, but
go
I have,
and just watch it and walk out and be like, oh, that's cool. To
I
a
used
dark
to be able
parking
to do that.
garage at midnight and just walk to your car by yourself and be like, oh, okay, this is fun.
Well, that wouldn't bother me as much. It's more so like during the movie watching it. It just not my vibe right now in this stage of life. Francie and I want to watch like easy, like garbage television.
You know what you should watch? Oh, garbage television? Oh, I was going to tell you a masterpiece. You should watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh, I started to the other day, literally 5 minutes in, and I was like, "This is boring as all get out."
It's not boring.
I'm
It's
sure
a
the
feel-good
movie's-
movie.
I'm
It's
sure
like-
the movie's great. I'm sure that if I like commit to the bit, and
especially as we
actually
get
watch
older,
it-
you know, we're middle aged, you know, now, so it appeals to us more. You know, the work balance culture and all that. Well, maybe me. I mean, you're going to theme parks all the time, but you know, just be in the office life,
I never have to work.
to the adventure. You know, I don't know, just getting out there to the great unknown.
Yeah.
You just think
I'll
it's
watch it
boring.
eventually. Francie's seen it. She enjoyed it, but
Okay.
I'll watch it. I got to watch that during the day when I'm not like about to fall asleep. So
It is a good falling asleep movie. I do watch that movie. Like, I feel like that's a good, like, get to where you're going on vacation, get to the hotel, throw it on at 8 p.m. and just fall asleep. But anywho, shall we talk about ride photos now?
sure, I could tell you were transitioning to that.
I feel like I was naturally segueing, but we were bouncing it back and forth a little bit there. It was a good little run.
Yeah.
All right, on ride photos. We're going to talk about 3 categories. Did we agree on 3 or did we agree on 2?
I mean, I don't have much to contribute to one of the categories.
I only have 3 for the other category, the negative category.
Yeah, I don't have.
I know
much
you
of
hate
that.
being negative, but we're gonna not be negative, but just be what's the word when you're like
Critical.
yeah, well, like constructive criticism. Yes, a little constructive criticism here. So we're gonna talk about our best on ride photos, and when we're talking on ride photos,
Like our favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or we think like these are this is you got to do them kind of deal. Or maybe you're the ones you'd most have a chance of buying. But we're talking on ride photos. We're talking when the camera is mounted, taking a fixed photo of you on the ride path, and then you go after and you look at a little TV screen or it shows up on your app and you get to see it and potentially buy it, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about the best ones. We're going to talk about the not so best ones. See, kept that positive. Not so best. And then we're going to talk about what we need, the ones that maybe they exist, but they're not in the right place, we feel like, or they don't have one at all. And we're like, why does it not have one? I don't understand. It has to have one. Did you look at any of the history?
I do. I have a little bit of history. There's not a ton of like research done on the history of ride photos.
Naturally, because
Yeah.
we're the first.
What a niche topic.
Yeah.
But it started from what I've gathered. It started like with coasters. It started with people wanting to capture images of people on coasters, and then it developed more and more as time went on. Obviously, with the development of technology, because at first it was very difficult for individuals to get the photo, capture the photo, and then do a quick turn on the image to be able to have people like access that photo before they left the park for the day.
That makes sense. I didn't think about that because we were taking, even when I was vacationing in like the early 2000s, we were using film cameras and everything.
Right, right. So digital, like the digital footprint changed the game with on-ride photos, because then the computer could basically send the image to the Photoshop that exists typically at the exit of the attraction,
Yeah.
and then give people the opportunity. And I mean, even then, it's continued to develop more and more. Now people can just print those photos for you immediately, and then you walk out with it. I mean, there was a time where you could select the photo and then opt to have it printed, but you would have to go back to the attraction to pick up your photo.
Yeah, I remember
at some
doing
point
that a
during the
few
day.
times.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
You have to go, like my mom would be like, our ride photo's ready. I'm going to go back and pick it up. And be like, that's interesting that you have to wait. And now we've gone to a point where now we have video, too.
Right. Yeah. So, but the one of the guys who originally started it was a man. I'm trying to remember his name. He owned a company called Get the Picture Corporation, and he started it with like smaller theme parks in the 1980s, in the late 1980s, and it was like using Polaroid cameras to like capture the picture and then have those photos sent over to this, what was typically a small booth outside of the exit of the attraction, which still exists today. It's just a lot of theme parks like Disney and Universal have built those booths into the theming of the attraction as well.
And
so
the gift shop. Yeah.
yeah. So
Interesting.
so yeah, it started around the 1980s. I didn't get like a specific like attraction or anything that it started with. A lot of people said coasters, and then a lot of other people said log flume were very popular, which makes sense. Like if you think about, Disney parks, log flume are important, and those on-ride photos are critical to the history of on-ride photos. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It was more complicated back in the day for sure, but as
Didn't think about
technology has developed, as the digital footprint has expanded, And as digital photo taking has developed, it's become much easier. Now
Yeah.
you take a picture and the photo obviously shows up on your app if you're
On
at
your
Walt Disney
phone.
World.
You
Yeah.
just download it.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
and they can recognize you based on the technology that's in something
That's the
like
craziest part where
your
it's
Magic
like,
Band.
it just looks, and I feel like I haven't worn a Magic Band before and it's
Well,
gotten me.
it also uses AI technology to recognize your face, and then
Yeah.
with facial recognition, it'll put the photo into your app as well.
Slightly creepy.
I'm here for it, especially like if you take into consideration like Run Disney, which is a sensitive subject today because Princess registration was today and it was an absolute nightmare.
But Run Disney is all by number, right? Like if you can't see the number,
Sometimes-
you're not on the photo.
Sometimes, but sometimes there are athletes who run that cover their bib numbers, and a lot of times that means that you're not going to get your picture, which is sad and unfortunate. Just recently, I think it was Springtime Surprise, we were running and a lady ran by us and her bib was on her back, and we were like, ma'am, like you're not going to get any of your pictures. And she was like, I didn't even think about that. And we were like well into the course at that point, so it was really sad. She just kept going though. She was like, screw it, like I'm just going to keep going. But anyways, there are times where, and I have a friend who works in Disney PhotoPass, and he's told me this, that they can use like facial recognition to find people's photos, which is great. I think that's huge. Like those things add so much to this experience of Run Disney, being able to have these like cool photos, especially if you're running under the castle or running through the park. Yeah, the develop that, but all of that started with on-ride photos.
With
you
the
know?
log flume. Speaking of log flumes, should we talk about some of the best
Sure.
of the best?
Sure.
I mean, there's the certain genre of a bit while you take your on-ride photo, which I'm sure all of us have at one point been a part of, whether it's as small as pointing to the camera and making a goofy face, or like holding up "Will you marry me" behind the person in the front row and doing all these, bringing a tablecloth with a piece of cardboard and acting like you're having a dinner setting
Yeah.
going down. Like there's all kinds of options. People go crazy. But I feel like we see all these on Splash Mountain. And Splash Mountain is probably one of the most iconic
My number one
on-ride
is
photos.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking up photos of them and they were still
No,
the
yeah. I
Splash
mean,
Mountain ones,
I
but-
have. I think that it's number one for me because of it being so iconic when we were kids as well. Like I have the printed photos in the folders from
Yeah.
Splash Mountain of me and my family on that attraction. Like
And I do feel like I will say this also, when we went to Silver Dollar City, they have the log flume ride as well. But there's something about the log flume ride, like genre, that when you're going down that hill for that splash and you're about to hit the water, like that puts ultimate fear in someone's eyes. Whereas sometimes on a roller coaster, you'll catch someone just kind of being nonchalant, just being like, oh yeah, this is a sweeping turn. But whenever you're on the log flume, or in the case of the old Splash Mountain, looking down into the briar patch, that is a moment of true fear for children, and you get really good photos from that. So
Well,
I think that was also one of the first photos I've ever gotten was Splash Mountain as well.
oh, for sure, yeah. And I have some of these pictures. I was thinking it'd be cool if we could try to like track these down. And
We need to build a collection. This is where I was going to get to. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode, but we need to build a collection, which we missed it because we could have gotten 5 at Epic Universe and kept those. But we need to build a collection of on-ride photos and do just like, then our studios can just be like on-ride photos
of just
all
me
around.
and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I
us.
want in my office. People walk in and they're like, "Oh,
I feel like there are people out there that have pretty legit collections of on-ride photos, like
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
like a wall in their house dedicated.
Well, what I was going to say was what we might try to do for you all is I was going to try to. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to edit them into this episode. That's probably not going to happen.
right here.
No, it's not going to happen. But what I'd like to do is get you to send me some of them, and then I'll get some of mine. Some of our favorites. favorites.
I'm gonna have to
together.
dig deep because I don't think I've bought one for
Well,
years.
but I mean,
I've always been on like
yeah, you don't even get your own park.
I don't buy my own park tickets. I've always been on someone else's app.
Well, you might get like 2 or 3 of Hunter then, but
Yeah. I'll have to
well,
reach out to some of my contacts.
ridiculous. I'll try to get like a few of them and post them on our Instagram, which is the Theme Park Guys on Instagram. If you guys want to go check that out, so stay tuned for that. I don't know when that's going to get posted, but I'm going to try to do it at some point next week, just to kind of like as a nod to this episode. But yeah, and what I'm going to try to do is, and I know I have them, and I recently saw them, but they're in the mess that is my office right now, and so I'll try to find some of my like old pictures as well. But that being said, speaking of like log flume, my number 3 on my list, and my ranking is not necessarily like
I did 5, and I did them in kind of no particular order.
yeah, same
so.
here. Okay, so one of mine is Jurassic Park River Adventure as well. I think that's such a solid one. Again, like it ties into what you were just saying about that moment of terror. You're literally going under the T-Rex, and then all of a sudden you're like dropping down.
Yeah.
And it captures fear on your face. It captures the thrill of like, oh my gosh, look at that huge wave that we're headed towards. And I have that picture from my childhood, and then I have it of Luke and Ethan on their first ride on River Adventure as well. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I think that's another iconic one for sure. Log flumes are perfect opportunities to get cool pictures of people in terror.
Yeah, I will say, and speaking of terror and dinosaurs, Dinosaur
Yeah,
was on my list. That was one of my top 5.
It's not on my. It's on my honorable mention list.
You have an honorable mention list too? My gosh.
I have 5. I have 5 on my honorable mention list.
But yeah, no, Dinosaur's great. I always, when riding that for the first time, I seat, my friend front right, and just
especially
put him
when
as
you,
close to
especially when you know, and that's all of these on ride photos, when you know exactly where the camera is, and you can be like that cool guy that like looks into the lens, then it like it makes that much of a difference.
I do try to test my knowledge and try to make eye contact.
Yeah,
with
I
as
have
many of them as I can.
I have ride photos of you looking directly into the camera, plenty of them. So I'll be able to contribute to that carousel of photos. But
But yeah, no,
Dinosaur's
especially
on my
with
honorable
my
mention.
4-year-old riding Dinosaur, just seeing him like
I was there for that.
scared to death.
Yeah. I think I
It's-
have that picture.
Do you? Oh, well, there you go. Maybe you have all my photos.
I was on that ride, so I should have that
Yeah.
photo for you. Yeah.
How long do they stay on the app for? I'm sure they expire at some
I
point.
think it's a year.
or-
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, no, Dinosaur, another true frightening moment that really gets you, I feel like.
No, I think Dinosaur's great. It'll be interesting to see, like, with that changing, what that looks like. So, stay tuned.
Yeah. I wonder.
Speaking of changes, by the time you guys listen to this, I'll have experienced Test Track almost twice. And so stay tuned.
A month ahead of time? It's not
Yeah.
fair. It's not
Stay
fair.
Stay tuned. Well,
It's
move
not
closer.
fair. Not fair.
Move to Florida.
I hope it's good. But
I'm excited to experience it, but I'll report back for sure next week on what that's like. Test Track did not make it on my list of favorites, though.
didn't make it on mine either. Because I feel like someone always puts their hand up and
It's not a great angle, so that could be on one of my least favorites, actually. Maybe that will
Yeah.
change with this new overlay. Maybe they've made it better.
here's the thing that I would like to share. Test Track is on one of my like needs here. I need to change it, and this is how I would change it. So both Test Track and Cars at California Adventure. So when you have the close call with Mac in the semi truck, like in the dark tunnel, that's like you have a light on you. It's spotlighting on you. That's
Right.
where the photo needs to be.
Because it's a
And
moment
it-
of fear.
Yeah, and it could even be like a like one of those videos, kind of like Seven Doors Mine Train, where it shows you going through that scene from the semi truck's point of view. But as a child, I was scared to death of that scene, and the first time seeing it, I'm sure I had a terrified reaction, and I'm sure a lot of people have a very surprised reaction for that as well. So
I'm looking forward to seeing
That's where it needs to
like
be.
what that looks like with this new attraction. Like even that moment, it'll be interesting to see what that's like.
it'll have the semi truck. They have to. If they don't, people will riot. And it's not going to be some digital semi truck,
Right.
which don't get me started. I can't talk about Test Track 2.0.
I'm fascinated to see what 3.0 looks like. So
Hopefully a lot like 1.0.
I don't. It's not going to be the same as 1.0.
They
for
better.
sure.
They better.
No.
They should have a test dummy in the queue. Or
There's going
I
to be
will
trees
ride.
somewhere based on that concept. art.
Trees in the queue.
No, in the ride.
Oh well, that's good. So that's like the old one.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
Anyways,
Another icon, Space Mountain.
I have Space Mountain Walt Disney World version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walt Disney World is the one, you get that right turn right at the start. Everybody has to look. And then a lot of people get this one wrong because you end up like looking too far to your right, or it's
Right.
like, because it's completely blacked out. So you have like, that's one that takes skill where you need to know exactly what spot to look to get, right eye contact on the photo. But yeah, Space Mountain and Splash Mountain are kind of even on in terms of like tomfoolery that
Yeah.
happens.
I'm laughing because I just found the picture of your child riding dinosaur, and I think that you
Was
look
he
more
scared?
terrified than he
I was
does.
probably worried about him.
Yeah.
Probably like, is he okay?
Yeah. I'll have to send it to you. This one's not going to go into the carousel, but
I always get scared of those moments.
it's also great because we wrote it like our friend Andrew wrote it with us, and so Andrew and I are sitting together in the front row, and you're with your family, and Andrew and I are looking straight into the camera, and I have my dopey metal on, and I'm flashing my dopey metal, and it looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, but yeah,
Space
yeah,
Mountain,
Space Mountain's
tomfoolery.
great. Yeah, I think it's great. I like it more. I think it's like a fun angle. It's not like your straight on photo like most coaster pictures are. It's from the side, and it's in a
yeah.
moment where most people wouldn't expect it. Obviously, most people have ridden Space Mountain at this point in their life, so they know where to look for it. But I think it's fun. I think it's a nice surprise, and you wouldn't even really realize that it's a picture taking. Obviously, there's a flash, but it could feel like it's just built into the attraction
Yeah.
that way. So
Yeah. The thing I appreciate is when they present the photo to you, they get like the whole ship. So it, like
Right.
they make it to where like you are flying through space and everything
Right.
around you is black and it's like surrounded by the frame and all that. Whereas
And
some
that-
other ones it's just like zoomed in on your seat and it's
Yeah.
like
And that's it's also it holds on to a lot of the attractions don't do this anymore because a lot of the pictures show up on your phone and you don't even really go to it. Like there's like I'm thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't go to a place with Guardians to like
Yeah.
look at your on ride photo. It just shows up.
yeah.
Which that is another place. That's another attraction that the picture is built into the ride really well. It's not on my list, but it's built into the ride so well because there's so many flashing lights that are taking place that you wouldn't even know that a picture's being taken.
Yeah.
And I haven't even mastered exactly where that camera is just yet because it all happens very quickly. But yeah, so what I like about Space Mountain 2 is that feeling of like
Present
as soon
it
as
at the
as as soon as you're getting off, you have this excitement of like, oh, what's the picture look like? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Like everybody's like eager to get off and like rush to go check out your photo before it disappears off the screen. So
Yeah, that takes me back to like the high school days when
Yeah.
or the middle school days. You'd go to Six Flags with your friends and you'd all rush before it showed up on your phone. You're riding with your buddy, and then this is me and Nick. You've called me out on this, but I used to pick on friends when I was younger. Okay, it happened. Okay,
You're a
but you would
bully.
always like pick on the kid who like made the funny face, and then you'd like and get each other back all day. But there's a lot of good memories from
Yeah.
even like with your family going to Disney and running out of Rock and Roller Coaster, which we can go to the next one on our list, running through the red carpet and seeing wait for it to pop up, boom, there it is, and looking for it on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster, you got to throw up the Rock and Roll.
that is
hand
on my
symbol.
list
You
of
gotta
top 5 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's iconic. It is the perfect timing as well because
Yeah.
it's right when that launch takes place. And I'll put these in there, but I have the best photos of Luke and Ethan riding that for the first time. Ethan is legitimately terrified, and it's just fun to look back on because he loved the ride, but in that moment, it is just pure terror on his face, and
Yeah.
it's great.
And there's something about the strobing effect too as you go through it that just like I don't know.
Throws you off.
It feels better, or maybe it doesn't feel better, but I like the strobing effect more than like the Seven Doors Mine Train, like gradual turn on and gradual turn on, like spotlight on you. Like I like the
Story
give me the
thing,
flash.
or, Slinky Dog Dash. Yeah.
Slinky Dog Dash, same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yep,
great.
yep.
I love it. I think that those are iconic as well. Sounds like so far we've had the
I've got
same.
one more. Do you have
I do
one
too.
more?
Yeah, but we've had the same except you had Dinosaur and I had Jurassic Park River Adventure. So
Yeah, I don't like Jurassic Park River Adventure. It's scary.
all right, last one.
Expedition Everest.
Oh, so yeah, mine's not.
What? How do you not have Expedition Everest on here with the Yeti on the photo that you take, like reaching?
I think it'd
they're
be-
doing that.
Yeah. What?
That's our thumbnail right there.
Oh. I don't. I would rather that's not where the ride photo is with the Yeti.
No, I'm just kidding. I was saying like when you get the photo, it's like framed, and
Oh,
the
right,
Yeti
right,
is
right.
like a cartoon reaching into
Right.
your ride vehicle on the
Right,
photo.
right, right.
It's
I
at the
think
it's at the big hill.
Yeah,
But
which is great. I think that's
Great
a good
spot.
one. It's
Great
on my
spot.
list of honorable mentions, but I actually do think that I might move that one.
up or down.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like
move
on my
it?
list?
Yeah.
No, I'd move the ride photo.
Oh,
Yeah, I would
Why?
put it. I think it'd be fun to capture a moment when people realize that the track ends when you're going to the very top of the mountain, and then you have this moment of like panic when you realize that you're going backwards.
yeah.
I think it'd be fun to capture that.
That would be a nice spot for a video too.
I also
feel
think
like,
it'd be
almost.
iconic to have a photo there at the top where you're just like everyone just knows, and you get that second where you get to like take a picture and you're just at the top of the mountain and the track is ended. So I think
Yeah.
I'd put it up there somewhere. But
Okay.
I do think it's great where it's at, and I do think it's a good one. It's on my honorable mention list. But
Yep. Yep.
my fifth one was Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I like Tower of Terror. Again,
I love it.
points off for people putting their hand in your face. But
Well, it's iconic, but also like it's become it's maintained its relevancy because now it's a TikTok trend and people use it as because now you can get video of the moment and it's now like people treat it as a glam bot. Yeah, which is amazing. I like my algorithm.
it's slow mo. It's cool. It's cool. I guess.
My algorithm sends me these videos all the time, and I absolutely love watching them. People are hilarious with the things that they can come up with on doing their like little glam bot moment. So I have Tower of Terror on my list. My other honorable mention, Incredicoaster. Although I think I'd probably move Incredicoaster too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
not as iconic. Where
Where
it's
would
at.
you put it? And Credicoaster, just so everybody knows, is on the last turn of the ride. After every climactic
done.
moment has happened, and I remember riding it and being like, what the heck? Why was the photo right here? Like, this was the least exciting part of the ride.
I'd maybe put it near the loop. I think that'd be fun. Yeah. And then
That's where
maybe
I-
if you could
that's where I was
position
gonna say.
position it in a way where you get like the Pixar Pier logo in the back of the image, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would probably put it at the Pixar Pier logo looking out like to the park.
Yeah.
And then I would get it to where it's taken inverted because we don't have any inverted photos.
Right. Yeah, I think
I would get it to where you're at the max of that inversion and take everybody's photo right there. Because I feel like, I mean, even if you knew it's there, you're trying to make a face at it, you're still gonna have natural reactions.
Yeah. I also
But
have
yeah,
Pirates
that
of
was
the
my
Caribbean
big
on
one.
my honorable mention. I think it's a solid place for a ride.
Oh, the skull. Yeah, that one's just kind of like, it's
Yeah,
so
but it's
aggressive.
fun.
You're just like, what the heck
Yeah.
happened?
It's fun though because like the whole like you could try to get the whole boat behind it, get everybody to do like the same thing, or even if it's just your family taking up a couple rows, like it's fun to have that moment for sure. And it's right before a drop, which is similar to the log flume vibes.
But it's before the drop so much that it's like
you don't realize, yeah, for sure.
it's you get a lot of like, and saying this nicely, you get a lot of what I call like dumb face, where people are just kind of like sitting
Not
like,
knowing. Yeah, kind of like Haunted Mansion.
yeah, they're just they have no reaction to anything at the moment. But okay, I feel like those are some quality ones.
Yeah. And then I also have Battle at the Ministry as an honorable mention as well. Epic Universe has a lot of on-ride photos. I'm not as acquainted to all of them just yet.
5 out of the 11.
Yeah.
And I did not catch where any of them were taken.
I know now because I've been on these rides a lot, thankfully, blessed.
Yeah.
But Battle at the Ministry is perfect because it is a photo moment in Battle. I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, that's right. That's where they turned it. Yes.
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for this moment of Battle at the Ministry. So if you want not to hear this, skip ahead.
Well,
like,
just say they turned to take a
15
photo of
seconds.
you to put you in the newspaper, right? Isn't that what it
That's
is?
what I was getting to. Yes, but some people wouldn't want to be.
Is
spoiled
that a
by
spoiler?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get your photo taken for the newspaper?
Some people want to go into that ride like blind, which I understand. I respect it.
I mean, okay, but
But yeah, it's cool. I think it's great. I think it fits the story really well. And so it fits well. But anyways,
yep. Okay. What's not the best? You know,
well, I think I've
some
talked
would
about
say
some of the ones that are already on my
bad.
list. Yeah, I don't have bad ones.
I have a bad one.
What?
Astro Blasters. Did they fix that yet
Like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin?
in Disneyland?
Oh, I don't
Yes.
know.
It's the blurry one.
Oh, I don't know.
Have you not seen that?
I
Look
don't
that up.
know.
Look that up if you get a second. So like, it's like it has plus points because it shows you your score with your photo, but negative points because it is the lowest quality image you've ever seen, and it like takes your photo and puts you in a cartoon Astro Blaster ride vehicle, and not just like the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin one in Walt Disney World in Magic Kingdom, where it's the actual vehicle and you holding the gun and looking. It's not good. It's not good. And
I'm not seeing it.
I feel
Oh,
like
I
they.
see. I see.
Do you see where it's like bad quality?
Yeah. You're very far away.
It's very old, and
Yeah.
it's just it needs some work. It could be good. Could be good. It shows the scores, which I think that'd be awesome to get an on-ride photo of Buzz Lightyear and have your score, so you can just rub it in your buddy's face for the rest of his life and say, "Remember that time I beat you?" But yeah, Astro Blasters is one, and Credit Coaster we already talked about. It's at the end. I was like, that needs to be in a better spot.
Yeah.
And I put Slinky Dog on there too, because Slinky Dog is like so far to the side
Yeah.
that it's
It's
like
a hard angle.
but it's like, yeah, and it has to be that way because the way the ride vehicle is. But like, how about the hill, the first hill, and you take it like from the top of the vehicle, kind of like an Expedition Everest vibe.
Or when it goes like 3, 2, 1, go, and then it like
Yeah.
sends you off. I don't know.
Something from like above. I don't know. I looked at and I was kind of browsing through some, and Slinky Dog. Every Slinky Dog one I saw, I was like,
Yeah, I don't love the Slinky Dog ones either, but
yeah.
you have to make sure that you position your kid too on the right side in order to make sure that
You just block them out completely. Yeah.
yeah. I don't have a lot of bad ones, but I did want to say that this isn't necessarily bad, but I wish that Universal would change their system, because I think that the park or the resort that does photos the best is Walt Disney World, even more so than Disneyland, because everything is showing up on like onto my app in my Disney experience. I feel like with Disneyland, and they don't use magic bands as much at Disneyland. They usually use park tickets more than anything. And so I feel like I get a lot more cards at Disneyland, and maybe it's just because I'm not a local as well. That could absolutely have everything to do with it.
Remember when you used to have to tap your magic band? Yeah. And what you have to do at Disneyland?
You do
yeah.
at Walt Disney World as well in a lot of places, but I just feel like the process is streamlined. But this is also because I'm local. I'm an annual pass holder, so I pay to get all of my photos incorporated as well. And obviously I'm not a pass holder at Disneyland, so like I don't get access to them as much. I just feel like it's not as user friendly as it is at Walt Disney World. And Universal is for sure not. And the problem with Universal is that there's not a database online that you can add all of these photos. Like if you don't get it that day, it's gone. And I don't like that. I want to think about that picture. I'm at a park. I don't want to necessarily have to like make that quick decision.
Split decision. Then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're leaving and it's 11 p.m. You get home by midnight, go to bed.
Yeah, I wish that at like at Walt Disney World, because I'm a pass holder at Universal, I wish that I had the ability to just put all of these pictures onto an app within the Universal app and give me access to those photos. I'll pay extra to do that because it's that much easier and it's that much better. So I at large Universal pictures I almost never have, because you have to pay for them at the specific location after the ride, after you've gone there. And or at the end of the day, you can go back and put everything on like one of their photo cards and try to like download them that way. But if you don't do it before you leave, then I think that takes up time out of your day that's unnecessary as well. Like I don't want to spend too much time waiting to go review all of my pictures and stuff like that. Just streamline the process. So that was my only gripe, is that I wish that Universal would update their system for that. So
Okay. Well, we're into the fun part now. Like the rest of it wasn't fun. The rest of it was fun. But we're into the part where we use our imagination, which we've already done for a few. And Credit Coaster, Test Track are two that I mentioned. But you have the keys now. You can place the camera. It's literally like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you just pick up the camera and put it wherever you want. What would you do? How many do you have? I have 3 left of these because we already talked about.
5.
Okay, well, you start with one then, so then we can bounce back and forth.
Okay.
You start with one here. What do you
Okay.
got?
I'll start from the bottom for me. Actually,
Oh,
I have
okay.
7. I have honorable mentions as well.
Dear goodness.
Let me get through my honorable mentions real
Should I say my three first so you don't steal mine?
No, no, I don't. I will probably. We might have similar ones. I have Doctor Doom Freefall. I think that there should be a ride photo there. If there's not, I also consulted with my team that I work with on this, and these are also other theme park professionals, and so we got a lot of great recommendations from them.
Can I shout out your team because I looked at y'all's article from like a
Nice.
year ago and saw all like the people that I've seen like in the photos,
yeah.
and I was like, hey, I know that person. And they did like the guide of like what attractions have the photo pass and all that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah.
These are the professionals for sure. But Doctor Doom's Freefall, and we also said maybe, and I don't. This might be goofy, but I said we said Flight of Passage maybe, because there's not an on-ride photo for that. It'd have to be a wow
As
moment.
long as they like CGI in like you actually riding a Banshee.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. But the other problem with that is that you would then have your 3D glasses on, and that would
But the
take
glasses
away.
kind of look like flight goggles a little bit, right? Aren't they?
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
it would
themed?
take away a little bit from the photo, which is why, in doing my research, Gringotts does not have an on-ride photo at Universal because you have your glasses on, and so they do a photo in the queue for the ride. Yeah, you step aside
Where?
and take a picture in the queue before you get on the ride.
I just had a brilliant idea, and I want to say it right now, but I'm afraid it'll be stolen and I'll lose all the royalties off of it. But here's how Flight of Passage photo would work. Now, given what we have currently, you would just do the photo like normal, and then through AI, it would replace the 3D goggles with like movie accurate flight goggles.
That'd be
It would replace what you're riding and holding on to, the exact places that you're holding on or how you're positioned with an actual Banshee. And it would like fill in the environment around you. I'm talking like Honey I Shrunk the Kids playground type stuff.
It
Like
feels
when you
like
did the photo op there.
that would be expensive for sure.
I feel like it would be super cheap.
Yeah, the only thing is that like it'd be such a bummer for
be-
the people that like the technology doesn't, because technology's technology and it doesn't, like, the AI
I-
doesn't pick up
I-
things well, and then like their arm is like awkwardly like in no man's land, or
Yeah, but I feel like we're at a point where you're replicating the same photo over and over again. Like we're there. I think we're there.
it'd be interesting.
You're
to try it.
technically holding on to like the same part. Like all of the points of contact should be the same. I think we're there, and I think it's gonna happen now, honestly. And I'm frustrated because it was my idea first.
It'd be fun to see it. Well, that's why. There you go. Flight of Passage is on my honorable mention list.
Yeah.
I'll start with
knew?
my one of mine then, and then we can jump back and forth. But Seuss Trolley Train Ride. I love this attraction.
Let's go to the next one.
I think it's a nice little ride around Seuss Landing, and I think that you get really great views of Islands of Adventure from up there. So if you can position it well and you can see all of Islands of Adventure in the background, I think it'd be pretty sick.
That's a great idea.
You just don't like Islands of Adventure, which is wild to
I
me.
don't.
But
I don't like the Seuss trolley train ride either.
we
It's-
had fun together on that.
Yeah, but it's like I don't understand that attraction. It's
mean,
it's slightly better than Yoshi's.
Whatever.
Slightly better.
All right, go ahead.
All right. What should I start with? Should I start with my rage bait one for you, or like my legit one? I'm gonna save the rage bait one because I know you won't say that one. I'm gonna say Jungle Cruise. I
yeah.
think at the end of the attraction, the monkey should take a picture of your boat.
That'd be fun.
And
Someone,
your whole boat, like your skipper talks it up. He's like, "All right, everyone, 1, 2, 3." Everybody does like a pose, and
That's fun.
And then you'd have like a boat memory.
one of my coworkers said on Jungle Cruise, but when you're behind the water, so that you're on the backside of water.
Yeah, could do that. But
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise, I think, or the skipper just takes like a selfie from the front and it goes to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
one
fine.
of those two.
I have another one, and this would be complicated because you'd have to be very careful with how you do this, and it would probably be one that could not happen at nighttime. It'd have to be only during the day, and that's Kilimanjaro Safari. I don't know exactly.
Where would you?
I don't
You
know
could do
where-
it once you get out of the animals, like on like
Yeah.
the first, like as you leave the station, they really stomp on the gas.
But I think it'd be cool if the safari was behind you or you were somewhere on the safari somehow. Obviously, it'd be interesting because you never know what animals will be in the background of your photo. But it'd be cool if it would be something that would take a lot of planning and.
Let me tell you what, we just use AI, and we just take it at the start, and then they
I
put
think it's
giraffes
cool.
around you.
I think it's cool if the animals are in like different spots every time you go on that ride, and like I think that adds like variable factors to the ride, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
But obviously at nighttime it's not going to work because there's no flash photography, which makes sense. So it would have to be a daytime only situation. But I think it'd be cool. I think Kilimanjaro would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. I had Toy Story Mania in the final moments as everybody is straining to get their high score. I feel like people like that's like the ultimate try hard moment, and people don't look their best when they're trying to do that. And that would be the perfect time to capture a photo of everyone.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Just saying.
Yeah. I have Rise of the Resistance since it's going to be around for a long time. Probably the drop. I think the drop would be a lot of fun to have a photo of.
Yeah, as you drop.
Yeah.
Or as maybe as Kylo Ren as the ship breaks and like you have a little flash of that kind of deal. Okay. Okay. I like it. All right, this is my fun one. You ready?
Oh dear.
Classic attraction. One of the best attractions I've ever been on.
I have two more.
Well, I'll just say mine and then you can take your two. One of the best attractions I've ever been on. One of the most fun attractions to do with your friends.
Oh, I know what this is going to be.
3 different potential locations for the photo. Randomized every ride where you never know which one it's going to be. But at least one time on this attraction, in one of those 3 spots, and this attraction is Fire Drill.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
And at least one of those 3 locations, you get absolutely soaked. And it captures you before, during, and after. And it's a little 3-photo reel that it gives you. And it's like happy, frightened, mad, and you get everybody's 3 reactions. But but you can't do it in one spot because everyone's like, "Oh, here comes the photo. Let me put my poncho over my head." No, it's 3 spots, and it's random every time. Like you have the potential to get splashed on each one, but it only happens on one.
Yeah, I think you just have to be careful with the lens not getting wet.
Well, the camera would be off, like behind everything.
Right. Yeah.
And it would
But
have
people
like
are
a little.
like spraying those things wherever. So that's just...
The camera would be waterproof.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a GoPro. We use a GoPro.
Yeah, I mean, people do obviously like water log flume rides.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers suggested like on Popeyes at Islands of Adventure or like.
Hold on, is Popeyes like Fire Drill?
No, it's like Kali River Rapids.
Oh, never mind.
But I think that could be potential fun photos too. People just getting
Yeah.
absolutely drenched. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
They should have a 360 camera in the center of like Kali River Rapids and stuff, where it gives you like a 360 photo where you can like click on it. You know how you can view like street view and like rotate? It gives you that photo where you can like look and rotate and look at everybody. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that'd be
another
fun.
great idea. Gosh, we're gonna start seeing these pop up. I'm telling you.
And then I also have, which it's shocking that there's not a ride photo on this attraction. I don't know why there's not. I think that they maybe might be nice if they added this during their refurb process. But Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah. Where'd you have it?
I don't know. I don't know what is becoming of our Big Thunder. So I guess if I had one at Disneyland, maybe after you go under like the dynamite scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you need one at Big Thunder.
Yeah.
That's
It's
interesting. It doesn't have
I'm
one.
shocked they don't have one. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason or story behind that. But one of
Wasn't
my,
in the budget.
one of my coworkers said, and this would be funny, and people would probably abuse the system with this one for sure, but then they could also have like a lot of fun with it. It's on People Mover. I think that there's a lot of fun opportunity for that one. But it
Yeah,
also
that
could
would be
kind
one
of
where
cool.
you know it's coming.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
No way to surprise someone there.
No. But it'd be fun. It'd be fun, like do a goofy pose moment or whatever.
Ooh, I had one pop into my head. The canoes at Disneyland.
No.
they should have a photo pass person or just a stationary one that like finds you and like gets you as you're canoeing.
Yeah, a photo pass would be cool. Like
I
from
feel like
the
if
shore.
photo pass camped out on the shore and like snags some cool action
So that
photos
when
of
you
you.
like do it and you're next to your friend because you sit next to each other on that ride, then you
Yeah.
can get a picture together.
Or you tell your friend sit a couple rows back because you want to stretch your legs out a little bit.
That happened to us, by the way, for those that have no
Yeah.
idea the backstory there. But
Yeah.
we sat down on the boats, and as soon as we sat down, immediately Hunter like moved like 3 rows behind me.
There
I
was
like,
no. We had a boat to ourselves. I
It
was
was
like,
not to ourselves. The boat was full of people. It's just that there was no one sitting behind us.
yeah. So
I was
I
like-
scooted back a row, and
It was not a row.
this is what it's like. It's like if you go on a flight and there's 3 seats and I'm in the center, you're in the aisle, and nobody sits at the window. I'm like, I'm gonna sit at the window and we're gonna leave the middle empty. Like
Sure.
that's
Not
happening.
the same. That's not the same.
It is the exact same.
That's a different row.
I didn't want to hit my paddle on your paddle. I was paddling hard.
We were on other sides of the canoe. There's no way to hit each other's
Yeah.
paddles.
Yeah, I didn't want to hit your paddle.
Anyways.
Let's move on.
This one was not my idea. This was one of my coworkers, and shout out Lee, who probably will never listen to this, but she came up with this,
come on.
and this was her suggestion, and I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I think it would create like such great photos, and that's on Pixar Pal Around on the swinging cages, like the sheer terror in people's faces as those things are swinging. It would be difficult because it's like you're in a cage, so it would almost have to be inside of the cage. Oh,
I had an idea.
Go ahead.
I had an idea. It's an ultra zoom from
Ah,
across the pier where like Little Mermaid's at, and it starts zoomed out on Pixar Pier, perfect framing, and then it zooms all the way into the top of Pal Around, and people abuse this because they know at what point it happens, and they're like on the chain like.
Yeah.
Get out of here, that kind
Terrifying.
of thing.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be great.
And it like zooms back out, and then you have
But I
Pixar
think it'd
Pier.
be fun too to have it a little bit closer and capture like the terror on people's faces.
Yeah.
That ride is
I have GoPro videos of people on Pixar Pal Around.
truly
It's terrifying.
I have videos of you on it. So
I'm scared.
yeah, I probably ever ride it again. So
Yeah, I don't really see a need. Actually, no. I like to ride it with people because it's fun to terrorize them.
that's really good of you. Great personality trait.
I want to ride the stationary one next, I think.
I've done the
because
stationary.
The stationary one, you get a lot higher, and I've
Yeah.
never experienced that.
Which I hate heights, so not about it. I was thinking about this with you and I because I don't like heights. You like
I
heights
didn't.
more now, yeah.
I
And
hated heights.
if
I was scared.
we've been watching a lot of The Amazing Race lately, and I texted this to Hunter. I was like, it'd be funny if we did The Amazing Race together one day, which that would make for great television because let me tell you, it could get ugly between Hunter and I. But but I think it'd be good TV. But I was thinking about how if there were things that involved heights, I would be like roadblocks. I'd be like, it's all you, bud. You're doing it. Like,
Don't you have to do everything together?
no, not all of them. Sometimes it's like one person in the team does it. So,
No. Okay.
and I was thinking like you could
And I
do all
don't
the,
mind.
you could do the heights things, and then if it involved like being in like the deep ocean, I'd be like, game on, mine. Because you'd probably, I mean, you wouldn't be scared. I know, I'm not scared of that, but you would
Never
be
scared.
right. You'd be more inclined to let me do those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were nervous about snorkeling on Castaway Key.
It's not nervous about snorkeling. I didn't like the water was cold. I didn't like it.
All right.
I mean, I did it. I was fine. It's just the water was freezing. But anyways, so that has been the best, the not so best,
Yeah.
and our wish list for on-ride photos. What's our ask of everybody? Oh,
All of these were Disney and
yeah,
Universal
that's where
based.
we have most of our experience.
Yeah.
There are
I
the
mean-
Six Flags ones, but
Yeah.
I tried looking up some to like jog my memory of Six Flags, but I couldn't find any.
Busch Gardens has them too, but it's similar to Universal, where it's like I don't end up with them because then you have to like go to the counter and buy it.
Yeah, but they're also, I feel like those ones are pretty basic, whereas Disney usually has some sort of twist or turn or something going into it. But yeah, so this is what I'll ask of everyone. Go ahead and at theme park guys, right? The theme park guys? Are we the or theme park guys?
We are the theme park guys.
The theme park guys.
Breaking
At
news.
the theme park guys.
Breaking News to Hunter. The name of our podcast is. The
No,
Theme
no,
Park
no. Our handle on Instagram. It's the in our handle, right?
Oh,
Yes,
jeez.
it is. So tag us on Instagram and post a story of your on-ride photo, and we'll reshare it.
Yeah, I like it.
And we'll get an onslaught. There will be thousands of people across Instagram, and we're gonna start a trend. Everyone posting their on-ride photos.
You need
And
to calm. You need to calm down.
Just make sure you tag us. We'll share it.
No, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd be excited to see everybody. So it's really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll even post one on my account.
Wow.
It's been a few months.
Riveting. Well, I'm gonna post a bunch of ours, and I can
Yeah.
I can tag us in that so people can go see it on
Yeah.
our page. So
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
all right,
All right.
well,
That has been on-ride photos. What the heck are they? Why do we do them? What are the best? What are the not so best? Our imaginations, and here we are.
got
I
it.
feel like the idea for Flight of Passage, that's gonna happen. Maybe the monkey on Jungle Cruise, that's definitely got to happen. I had one more brilliant idea, but that's the thing about me. I have brilliant ideas and then I forget them.
You said 360 on like
360
Popeyes.
on. Yep,
Hollywood
that's it.
Reference. Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
I'm excited to see like with new attractions what this. I mean, I'm gonna experience it this week with Test Track. Like, what is the new frontier on? Speaking of frontier, Frontierland, we have days left to experience like
How
the
many?
rivers of America. It closes on July 7th, so literally like
Oh, so I missed it.
yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Darn. I thought I'd have another shot.
You'll never go on Tom Sawyer Island again. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna go after I leave Test Track. So
I'm gonna start crying.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
dang.
appreciate seeing you cry.
Yeah.
Not because you're sad, but I'll send
I
you a
am
selfie
sad.
from there, and then I can Photoshop you into it.
You should.
We never
You
went
should.
there together.
Ooh, they need to have a photo op inside of the caves at Tom Sawyer's Island. And then you walk around a corner and it's motion activated. Pew! Good shit.
But yeah, that closes July 7th, so you've got days left to experience that, which is a lot of people are going to be sad about that for sure. I'm interested to see what that looks like. Like, what does the construction process look like for that, and how do they block that off? Like,
Well, from Tiana's, you're going to be able to get updates as many times as you want just by riding
correct, if you
Tiana's
ride the
over and
ride.
over
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah. And a treehouse? Can you see across from treehouse or no?
And I don't think so. No,
No. Okay.
no. I mean, not
Alright.
well. Yeah,
Yeah. Tiana's will give you the perfect. It'll give you obviously a huge
Yeah.
view of it. So.
yeah. I'm fascinated.
And Big Thunder. Big Thunder.
Well,
too.
you can't ride Big Thunder until 2026.
It's done. Oh well,
Yeah.
never mind. Never mind.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
there's going to be a lot of construction happening at Magic Kingdom over the next couple of months, several months,
Yep.
throughout the end of the year. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll be there this
We'll
week.
be there with you every step of the way at the theme park, guys.
Hunter needs to move to Florida.
Ain't happening.
Yeah, I know.
Ain't happening. I got enough theme parks here. Peppa Pig, Universal Kids, Six Flags Over Texas.
That was one of on my
Florida
team.
Bomb.
That was one of the suggestions. They said, oh my gosh, now the name is escaped.
Daddy Pig.
Yeah, Daddy Pig Coaster. But then she was like, abort. There's already one on that one.
There is.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
yeah. So anyways, Peppa Pig, you can get it there.
Peppa Pig. All right, there we go. Well, this has been the theme park, guys. Post your pictures at the theme park, guys, on Instagram. Tag us on ride photos. We'll post some of our own, and that has been this week's episode. Next week.
You'll
Next week
you'll
teaser.
be on location.
Yeah, I'll be on vacation, but listen, next week we're going to talk about. Well, I'm just locking it in right
Oh,
here.
geez.
If you've gotten to this point, you're listening. We are talking about the most famous mountains
We haven't
at
fleshed
theme
this out
parks.
at all.
No, it's happening. It's happening, and I'm going to be on top of a mountain recording.
Right,
Actually,
which
that
is-
probably won't work because I won't have internet. So I'll stay with the Wi-Fi. But yeah, most famous mountains.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll be in the Great Mountains of Florida.
A lot of flatlands. A lot
Yeah.
of flatlands. All right. Well,
Alrighty.
that is all. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching us on YouTube.
Yeah,
We really
appreciate
like
you
that.
all.
I'll never say like, comment, and subscribe because I just don't do that. But
You should.
thanks
do
for
that.
watching. No, just if you're watching on YouTube, that helps us, and it might at some point get me down to see Test Track. I don't know. I don't know. I did realize after I bought those golf clubs this week, I was like,
Yeah, when you
oh
said
shoot,
you were
I
like,
could have bought an airplane
literally-
ticket.
Yeah, you were like, you sent me a picture of the golf clubs, and you were like, well, I sold this, so now I have the money for this. And I was like, didn't you sell that? And because a week before that, you were like, I sold this, so now I have the money for a flight.
Well, I thought I was going to sell it, and then it didn't sell. And then by the time I did actually sell it, I thought of something else to get, and then I just forgot, honestly.
Yeah, well,
My mind was set on one thing.
there goes
And
that.
it was
There goes that dream.
an R7 Mini driver and QI35.
I think it's good. I think it's important for you to
I'm selling my Solo Stove
just wait.
on Facebook Marketplace, too.
I
'cause
know.
I have 2 of them.
I opened Facebook today and it said Hunter
You saw
Hazen
me?
is selling this. Yeah, and I was like,
It's a good price, still in the box, sealed with tape. If you're listening and you want one and you live in the North Texas area, find me on Facebook.
no, please don't.
No, that's going to send me to Test Track. Come on.
No.
Come on, people.
We don't
Oh my
need people
gosh.
going to your personal profiles, actually. So
I mean, it's public. I don't, it's, oh, is it? I don't know.
we might need to revisit that. So,
It's fine. I don't care. Send me to Test Track. Buy my Solo Stove. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
bye.
Take it away. Hit the theme song.